Welcome to Business with the Donnos, where we talk about business, family, and everything in between. I'm your host, Jade Donno, and I'm here with my dad, Paul Donno. And this week's weekly topic is what makes great customer service. So,
Woo!
yeah.
Okay.
Wanted to build the suspense.
Okay.
Anyway.
You're such a lovey.
What inspired this conversation was today we had our full quarterly team meeting. So we had everyone around the table and we said...
It wasn't completely full, was it? Josh didn't bother to turn up.
No, Josh didn't come, but that was my fault. He was actually really sad because he missed out on the team lunch. But it was my fault. He needed to be at home so our gate could be fixed so that Django couldn't get out of the garden anymore. So it's quite important. But anyway, he got a private showing of the quarterly meeting. So lucky Josh, he still had to do it. But anyway, we had the quarterly meeting, and within that we did a mini customer service workshop with the team. And I think the sort of training in areas other than compliance can be easily missed, especially for accountants where there is so much training and sort of CPD required. That sort of stuff can easily get missed. But we did a whole workshop on customer service and it was actually really good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really good. I think you showed that graph, didn't you? Where is it 50% audit, 25% was the accounting compliance stuff. In the perception for the accounting practice people that work for us, etc., is that was great value. But then the same survey, which this was all done with through Advanced Track, wasn't it, when we went on their course the other week? The actual value on that was 5% in the client's eyes.
Yeah.
And that I think that to me that's just a big eye opener. Yeah,
it was a really big eye opener. It was, and I think it really was an eye opener to the team when I showed them that. It was that clients value something totally different to what we potentially value more in-house, and it's really showing them that and showing ways to improve. But in the workshop that we did, we actually before that we got everybody to say stories of what they found really good about customer service and what they found really bad about customer service. And also we then went on to say, what do clients already love about us and the service we provide? And within that, nobody said excellent records, excellent sets of accounts.
PAYE reconciles to 29 pence.
Yes, nobody said that. Even in our team around the room, no one said that. And so that was also really eye-opening that the whole team together also didn't think the clients valued that. So I would really recommend doing a little customer service workshop like that with your team, whatever industry you're in. It could really be eye-opening to what people value and what people want, and the understanding around that with your team. I did put together a little presentation, so if you just email me, I can send that template over to you, so you can use it on your team as well.
It was really useful. And also we used the whiteboard, didn't we? My interactive whiteboard.
We did. It's the biggest whiteboard you've ever seen in your life. And it is a TV screen as well.
Absolutely. So, and that's really good just to put it up there and, the pros and cons. I think that's really useful.
Yeah. So we thought, as we were inspired by that, we thought we would sort of say what we thought great customer service is and how we appreciate customer service as well.
Customer service as well. Yeah. I mean, I think that the team all said it was going above and beyond, wasn't it? And actually making people feel valued, and they said that they felt really, really good when they felt valued when they're interacting and going through a buying process and a service process with them as well, didn't they?
Yeah, but as a family business, Dad, what does great customer service mean to you for us as a family firm?
Well, I think as a family business, because we work as a family, we kind of treat everybody the same. And to me, it's how would you like to be treated? How would we treat our family? And I think that does then extend out to our clients and our team. And I think, you know, also when you take our clients, whilst they're paying for our service, etc. I wouldn't say they become an intimate family, but we do care about them. We care about their businesses, and you know, and when they're going through tough times, we also really care, and you know, and do stuff way above and beyond that they probably don't even notice. But you know, we do our best for them as though we would help any member of our family as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think that sort of family value that we've got really does extend to not only our clients, but also other stakeholders like our suppliers and the people around us.
Yeah.
Like it really does extend outwards to everybody. And then that feeds into our customer service as well.
I mean, a really good example, isn't it? We had a lady join us a year or so ago who's being looked after by a traditional firm.
Yeah.
And the service she got was atrocious. You know, they sort of treated her as though she was a bit of an idiot, didn't understand her company, what it meant. She didn't understand PAYE and dividends, etc. And they really belittled her, didn't they? We just took her to one side, sort of put our arm around her, as it were, and just spent our time knowing full well that she didn't understand this. Why would she understand it? It's our world. And we tried to put her at ease, sort out. She did have a little bit of pain to sort herself out, but we've got there, and she thinks you're wonderful. Well, yeah, she kind of, what she bought in, how many boxes of chocolates now?
So many boxes of chocolate.
Indeed. And we're on diets now, aren't we?
Yeah, we're
trying
really
to lose
trying
weight
to be healthy
and get ready for our cruise. And but she's a lovely lady, and she hated accountants, and I think now she thinks that we're wonderful.
Yeah, and that is a good example of where sort of our family vibes, which are naturally caring, have filtered through to that client, and it's made a big difference. So I thought that we would give some examples of great customer service we've experienced, so that people have got some examples. So, do you want to start with your one?
Yeah, I'm more than happy to start with mine. I don't know if you know, Jade, I quite like playing golf.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, what a surprise.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, I know.
Oh, you should really play more.
I've
Make
kept
it
it
more, cement that.
Absolutely. I've kept it very quiet that I like to play golf. But one thing that golf actually doesn't like me. So
Are you sure?
Yeah, it doesn't like me. It seriously doesn't like me. So obviously I've got myself a golf professional, Ollie, who's helping me. Okay. And literally the other day he was teaching me stuff, etc. Whilst he said I might need new clubs, I actually don't need new clubs, and he didn't try and sell them. I thought that was great. And also he said, well, just come along to my studio. It's free over this time. Just pop in do 20 balls before you go out to a thing. No charge. I'm not saying he does that for everybody, but he certainly did it for me because I'm quite invested in it and speak to him and interested. And I thought that's great customer service, because I probably wouldn't have done it otherwise. And I'm going there tonight as well.
Are you?
I booked another lesson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But in just providing that little bit of extra value, you've booked another lesson.
Yeah.
So he's done his job, hasn't he?
He's done his job, and I bought an umbrella.
And you bought an umbrella.
Don't tell Mum though.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Mum, don't listen.
I want it.
If we tell Mum not to listen to this podcast, though,
absolutely, yeah,
it's a problem.
Yeah, just don't tell her. Yeah.
Okay. All right. My example is actually, I got married last year.
Did you?
I don't know whether you remember.
No.
I got married last year, and obviously to get married, I went and looked at wedding dresses, which was, well, what I thought would be a lot of fun. And the first place I went to was awful. It was somewhere in Cambridge. I don't remember the name of it, but I wouldn't badmouth them anyway. But it was awful. The lady put dresses on me that I didn't want to try on. She put the wrong sizes on me, and not too big to be clipped. She put ones that were way too small onto me, so I felt like humongous while I was in there. She didn't make me feel good about myself. In fact, people who know me know that I wear dresses all the time. Like, you rarely see me in trousers. If you see me in trousers, then that's like a rare sight for you. I wear dresses mostly, and she made me feel like dresses didn't suit me anymore.
Well, if you see me in a dress and not trousers, then you've got to worry.
That's really rare. At least I hope it's really rare.
And it's a dress like that nun's costume that time. That
Oh,
fancy
God.
dress.
Don't bring
Anyway,
up...
carry on with your story.
That was awful. That scarred me for life.
And
That.
James.
And James, yeah, that scarred us all for life. And the boy George. Anyway, we're going off in a tangent.
Oh, I love the boy George.
Oh,
outfit.
my
That was
God,
great.
no.
Do you really want to hurt me?
So, anyway, I had this awful experience at this place, and also I put on a dress at the end that was okay, and I said to the lady, I said, "Oh, this one's okay, but I'm gonna still look around." And then she was really pushy, saying that I should buy it. She basically made me feel like I'd used up all her time for nothing, and because I wasn't gonna buy a dress. And me and Mum came out, and we ended up going to the coffee shop down the road for some sympathy cake. And I thought, oh, this is rubbish. This is absolutely rubbish. Anyway, I then went to another shop a few weeks later in Sudbury called Silk and Maple, and it was literally the polar opposite. We went in, they treated us all, they tried to get to know us all. There was 4 of us that went. Oh no, 5 of us that went.
You've never been any good with numbers, have you?
No, I haven't. I'm not an accountant. Can you tell? But they treated us all really well. We had mimosas. We had teas and coffees for those who wanted the soft drinks. And then they literally got me to pick 3 dresses that I liked and my party liked. So only 3. And then from those 3 and from trying them on, they would then work out what they think would suit you and what you would like. And in the end, the lady actually figured out that she knew me so well that she found one that wasn't even on display, that had just come out, and she bought that one in, which ended up being the dress that I chose. And not only was that experience really good, the whole picking up the dress was excellent. They gave me a goodie bag. They also, I'm thinking about selling my wedding dress, and I messaged them to ask where to sell it, and they were really, really helpful with that as well. So they are literally going above and beyond for their brides, for their customers, and that I think was really, really good, and polar opposite to the other one. I would have never have bought a dress from the other one, and they may have had some of the same dresses in their shop. So that is my example. So another thing is, I think small things go a long way, like just those little touches. So things like remembering people's names and following up with people and being sort of proactive. I know you love the word proactive, Dad.
Yep,
I'm going to plug it in here as much as I can.
I hate seeing that on accountants' websites. I'm a proactive accountant. Well, of course you are. We're all proactive, but why on earth do you have to shout that? We know you are. It's just bonkers. So if you find the words proactive on our website, please come back to us, because that is banned.
It's very possible that it is on there.
It better not be.
Who knows? Okay, so I think as well...
That's a challenge, isn't it? We'll put a challenge out there.
God.
Can anyone find out?
It's probably on the homepage.
It better not be. That's it.
Okay, so another thing is, like, I think everyone in your team needs to work towards the same customer service goals that you've got. If you've got one person that's excellent at customer service and then one person who's not, and then you set that bar really high and then they get the person who's not, it can really... I think it can really damage your reputation as a brand.
Yeah, I think that, was it the phrase that you're only as strong as your weakest link?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have a weak link, they need support to get strong.
And that's where the training comes in, and making sure that they're practicing. They might have never done it before or been taught how to deliver good customer service or really thought about it ever. So I think it's important to get that training in. And I know we had an example, I won't name any company names, but we had a meeting with a supplier, and they were excellent in this meeting. They were so knowledgeable. They really knew about accountants. They're really interested in us. It was great. We had a couple of meetings with these people, and then Katie had a meeting with another one of their team, and she had the opposite. She felt like she was wasting their time, that they didn't want to be there, that they couldn't really care less about us. And that's actually really damaged us to the point where we might not use this supplier anymore because we're really starting to feel uneasy about it. So
I always find it funny when people come on board and they say this stuff to Katie or even you, and they don't actually realise that you and Katie kind of make the decisions, and actually I don't always make the decisions, and that's really misjudging your customer, isn't it? I mean, the amount of time that people have come up and said, "Oh, I'll speak to Paul," and you're like, "Why?"
Yes, I get that all the time. It's so frustrating. Oh, that's just reminded me that, again, I won't name the company because it was a real bad one. We went to an event, didn't we, for another big supplier, a supplier that I'm so hot on. It's like my favourite bit of software. People who know me are actually going to work it out just from that. The person who was our contact, I think our contact, they were there at this event, and I was talking to them, and they turned to Dad and invited him to a lunch the next day to discuss the software. And my jaw literally dropped, and I think they even said, "Oh, Jade, you can go shopping with your mum," and I literally was fuming. And still to this day it boils my blood that they decided that Dad was the person that needed to talk about it, when he is the one who probably knows the least about the software.
Yeah, but the funniest thing of that is I wasn't going to go until I realised how much it wound you up.
Yeah, he went to the lunch.
It's a lovely lunch.
That was so cruel. It was so cruel, and he went to the lunch.
And I sent you pictures.
So I think a rule here is read the room, know your client, because that really, 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 really annoyed me. And this was probably about 3 or 4 years ago now.
And it's still annoying.
It's still annoying me now. I can remember the moment.
So can I. It was so funny.
Okay. My next little point was that people buy from people.
They do.
And that is important. And that was all I was going to say on that, unless you have anything to add.
No, people do buy from people.
Yeah.
Simples.
My next little bit was going to be about sort of technology. And obviously, I said in the last podcast, I probably said it in the one before as well, that AI is coming on leaps and bounds. But that is not replacing good customer service. Like, people still want to talk to people. They still want to buy from people, not from robots. So that is the bit that you really, really need to be focusing on now, because that is the differentiator between you and the technology.
I think AI is not quite there yet.
Not yet.
Particularly the chatbots. I mean, last night, I don't normally watch Kiss Chase. And I wanted to watch the Tottenham Man United game. They're playing in some cup final. And I need Discovery Plus. So I got Sky. I need Discovery Plus. I couldn't log on to Discovery Plus. It obviously crashed. So I went onto the Sky chat bot, who then couldn't help me. And then I'm arguing with a robot. It took me half an hour to turn the Kiss Chase on.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that's where people are trying to go to AI, and it's frustrating, really frustrating.
Yeah.
And that's not, in my opinion, customer service.
No, and that is what AI is never going to replace, that element of when you need to speak to somebody. You might be able to get advice and stuff off of it, but even then, at the moment, it lies to you just putting it out there. Please check everything ChatGPT throws at you if you are using it. It's amazing. Don't get me wrong. I use it all the time, but just fact check when it comes back, because it will make stuff up. But regardless, it's improving every single day, but it's never going to replace a person. It just isn't. So honing in on your customer service in your business is just, it's vital really as technology grows. And also utilise the technology you've got as well, so that you can spend more time talking to your customers and things.
Playing golf. With your customers.
With your customers, all right. Okay. I thought I'd also put in here, this is a bit of a negative one, but as a family business, when we lose clients, like, it's really sad.
It is. It doesn't happen very often, thankfully.
No.
But we do take it very personally.
We do. And I thought I would throw that in here because that is one of the differences of having a family business and really caring for your clients, is when they go, we do feel it, and we do take it personally.
Yeah, absolutely. And team members, we've had some team members where we were like, we've taken it probably a little bit too harsh, but we've made friends with these people, and the clients it's quite, our service is quite intimate with a client in terms of we know their financial affairs, we know their business inside out, and especially if we've lost on price.
Yeah.
And that's kind of that's a real kick, because it means our service wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
And we really, really try and delve into that and seeing what's what.
Exactly.
As I say, fortunately, it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. Is there anything else you want to end on about customer service or family business and customer service?
Well, no, I think I suppose that any family business, they operate as a family, and it's great to see family business out there and what they're putting out, etc. And not all families get on. We do see that, and if they aren't bickering, they've got to be very careful on what they're putting out as well, because that gives a negative vibe.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we don't bicker. You just sulk, and I'll go and play golf, so that's fine. But and I think that's quite important, that the family business, it's what they do as a family also goes around their team, among their customers, etc. I think that's really important.
Yeah, and I think so as well. And it's filtering the same. So if you've got your family in your business, and then you've got other team members, it's making sure that they're providing the same customer service that you would expect your family to provide, and that would be really important in your business, making sure your values are really filtering through, which is sometimes easier said than done, I would say. So moving on, we've got no guests this week, but I wanted to give a really big shout out to the whole team who got really stuck into our customer service workshop this quarter. And I was also going to say, if you want to be a guest on our podcast, we're actually making a waiting list of people who want to come on. We've got some actual really exciting people on that waiting list at the moment. So please just pop me an email or a WhatsApp or a DM on socials, and I will get you on that waiting list.
What sort of people do we want on this? Do we want sort of other people that run family business? Because we got on our waiting list at the moment, we've got some quite big hitters in our industry who are probably top of their game in a number of things. We're going to be quite exciting later on in the year when they come on. But equally, I think it would be nice to get some people that have set up a family business, their struggles as well, so that they can relate to what we do, we can relate to them, and we can share that with our listener.
Yeah, absolutely. We would like to hear from especially other family businesses, so we can share stories and sort of, mainly stories. I don't know how I was going to end that sentence. But so we can share stories and really go from there. So, we have now our unfiltered minute. So, my unfiltered minute, and this is quite a funny one, is that I was having a one-to-one with James, one of our accountants, and we have a pod structure at One Accounts, which basically means we've got a team of people that will look after a client base. So a client can ring in and they can speak to anyone in that team. In James's pod, he had Josh, and Josh is my husband, and because he is doing more tax work, James was like, not sure he should be in the pod anymore. And so I then wrote a note afterwards to say that James should eliminate Josh from the pod. Which now...
Is that why he wasn't here today?
Maybe.
He's actually not around.
He's just gone.
Is he under the patio?
Oh, God.
We best check.
He's not. He's in the other room, everybody.
Oh, okay.
But now the whole team is just taking the mickey out of me, saying that I've eliminated Josh,
poor Josh.
from the world. So just in case anybody comes into the office and hears that, Josh is alive. He is safe and well. I have not actually eliminated him. So yeah, that is my unfiltered minute. Dad, what's your one?
I can't remember what I was going to say. What was I going to say?
So I have written notes.
That's good.
Your one was about the shopping trip, and Katie really looked after.
Of course, yeah. So that was really interesting. I mean, everyone knows that Katie uses a wheelchair. So we went shopping, which is an experience with Katie. Not because she's in a wheelchair, just because it's an experience. She's extremely fussy. So we went into Oliver Bonus in Bluewater.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to Oliver Bonus in Bluewater. Really, really helpful shop assistants. But what was really good is that their changing room, if you're a wheelchair user, go to Oliver Bonus changing room. They got all the bars, they got the seats. The accessibility is superb. So Katie did buy something in there, and then we went to another shop, which I think was Calvin Klein, wasn't it? Katie wanted some in there. And proper bougie, that one. Well, both were, really. And their big changing rooms, so they had a bigger changing room for people that had prams, wheelchairs, etc.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as well equipped.
No, it didn't have the bars and stuff that Katie needed.
And she needed something I think it was a swimsuit she needed to put on.
Yeah, we're going on holiday later in the year, so Katie was looking primarily for holiday clothes, so she wanted to try on a swim costume.
So what was really good is that we said to the manager of Calvin Klein, look, if we can have a word with Oliver Bonus and use their changing room, would you be happy with that? And they said yes. And Oliver Bonus was like, yeah, of course we'll do that, And they were so nice. They really treated Katie really well. Unfortunately, the swimsuit didn't work for her. But that's two shops that work together, and that was just really good.
Yeah, it was. And Katie was really happy because they didn't make it seem like an inconvenience. It was nothing like that. It was
great.
Easy going, and they were really, really great about it. And it was really good to see because we'd had terrible experiences earlier in the day with other changing rooms. So that was really good.
H&M was disgusted.
Was just they
awful.
Literally couldn't care less.
And then New Look kicked me out of the changing area, so I couldn't help Katie if I needed to. So that was just awful too. All credit. Customer service was great. Sadly, that now means that Katie only wants to shop in Oliver Bonus and Calvin Klein, which is a little bit not where I wanted it to be.
Maybe not. But equally, I think the other shops should be at that level regardless.
They should. And I think that goes down to, she really would not, she loved New Look.
Yeah,
didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
And the experience in there wasn't good, and she also loved H&M, and again she's going to be going, not really sure about that now.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's just shocking experience there.
Yeah, exactly. She actually walked out of H&M because it was so bad.
Well, that would have been good if she could have walked out.
Wheeled out.
Oh, okay.
Katie will be absolutely cracking up when she hears that bit of the podcast.
I'm allowed to say stuff like that.
Yeah, only you. Okay, so we got another question in this week. So every week we will answer one of your questions. So please send me in one for next week. That would be amazing. And this question, this is exciting, is from Rachel from Accountant She and Strive Accountants. She is amazing. Look her up. She's a real influencer in our industry. She's been on the telly, and
she made me dance in a TikTok movie.
she did in what? A TikTok movie?
Well, it seemed like a movie to me. It was a TikTok-y thing.
On the YouTube.
On the YouTube. It wasn't on the YouTube, it was on TikTok.
Oh my goodness. But, yeah, she's absolutely... She's great. And she's really, really doing amazing things for the accounting industry and for people to understand their finances as well. So, yeah, huge shout out to Rachel. And she has sent in this question. She said, I would love to hand my business over to my kids one day. What do you both wish you knew before you started running a business together?
What would I wish I'd known? Well, obviously, bear in mind that you went to uni to study music and musical theatre. The last thing I thought you'd be doing is running an accountancy practice. So I think my thing that I'd wish I'd known is that you was going to be running the accountancy practice and you was going to be doing, you know, all the processes, etc., within our business as well. So I would like to have probably have known that a little bit earlier before I completely messed them up at the start and you had to fix them.
Fair enough. Well, to be fair, I didn't know that this was going to be the outcome either. And to be honest, I feel like with how my stuff worked, I wouldn't actually change anything in that, because I feel like with the musical theatre I learnt an awful lot, especially around leading and managing people. I don't think I'd have got that from doing anything else. And I think I also worked a lot harder in coming into the business later and not knowing what I was doing. So I think I wouldn't change anything. Perhaps before I started working with Dad, knowing quite how unorganised he was might have been beneficial.
I wasn't unorganised.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't say completely unorganised.
Not completely.
No.
Okay.
I'm sure
there's
there's some people who do know me and my organisational skills will be saying he's not telling the truth.
Everyone who knows you will be saying he's not telling the truth.
Imagine Heather sitting there going, what is he talking about?
She absolutely will be. Heather's our business coach and she knows. She sympathises with me. And yeah, coming in and figuring out everything and organising it was a huge job. But I suppose not knowing made me take the job on in the first place.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But yeah, that is.
So I think that, you know, and obviously we know Rachel, she plans everything to the nth degree.
Yeah,
so,
she'll have a spreadsheet for this probably.
So I think that really, you know, so advice to Rachel is that once you get to, you know, once her children get to sort of age 12, they start doing some tax returns. I think you started doing...
bookkeeping.
You did the videos as well.
Oh yeah, I did videos,
video editing. You did a bit of bookkeeping
media.
At about 14.
Shredding at 3.
Shredding at 3, yeah, absolutely. So, you know, just get them to learn from an early age. But yeah, so Rachel, on your spreadsheet, you know, yearly markers, we can help you with that. And then get them to uni, come back out and straight into the business. I think that's what to do. So yeah, and I'm sure that, you know, James, you know, Rachel's husband, James, will be able to do a few graphs on that as well.
Probably.
Yeah.
And I feel like her kids will really want to work in her business. They went to Legoland yesterday as a team.
Right.
So, like, I feel like...
I don't like Legoland.
What?
You
Why
cried
not?
all the way round.
No, that wasn't
dinosaur.
Legoland. Oh, that might have been Legoland. I don't like rides. I'm really scared of rides, everyone. I do like Disneyland, but I don't go on any rides.
Yeah.
And so I've scarred Dad with Legoland, apparently. I do remember as a kid throwing a tantrum at Thorpe Park and you turned around and left.
You did. Yeah, you were a nightmare.
It's really grumpy.
I spent a fortune getting to Thorpe Park and you just left.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this, don't like rides.
Yeah, that was me. Anyways, thank you for sending the question in, Rachel. And anyone listening, please send your questions in so that we have one for next week and further weeks, and we'll make sure that they get answered. So thanks for listening, everybody, to Business with the Donnos. If you have enjoyed this episode, please make sure you subscribe, share it with a friend, and leave us a review. It really helps us. And we'll see you next week.
Have a great bank holiday too.
Bye.